gray like the color.
Ah, this is beautiful. Hi everyone, Lynn from Cavy Central. We're having another adoption day and health checks, and we've got the beautiful Gracie with us. She is absolutely gorgeous. Look at these little licks. When a guinea pig licks you, they're actually licking the salt off your skin, and they enjoy that. But you have to be careful if you get a piggy that also wants to sample your skin. But she gives lots of little kisses, which we call them. She's come for a little health check, and what we've noticed is that she has a very large, I would class it as a tumour. It's around here. You might just make it out with the camera. But it's egg shaped. Did it appear really quickly, or you haven't noticed it, or is there anything that you have seen or noticed with it before?
Any symptoms or anything?
Okay.
So maybe it grew like quick.
Okay. With guinea pigs get sebaceous cysts and they get abscesses, and they also get tumours. So when they present like this, it can be one of those three. So the only way to tell for sure is that we have it aspirated, which is what a vet does. They actually lance it and they can tell if that is infection based or if it's not, if it's solid and so forth. Now with this little girl, it's not something we would do because it's really heavily into her abdominal area, and when we palpate it around the back, it's actually adhered to an area. So that's what I feel is the adhesion. And that makes me think it could be more in line with a tumour, but again we need to get her vet checked to be sure about that and just get that taken care of. Now because it's really elliptical and it's on the side, it is a dangerous area for surgery because of the internals that are relatively close to that for blood supply and for other attachments, but also because of the size of it. If we just upend her, you can actually see how big that is. And you know, it's a substantial size. So once they remove that tumour area or tissue area, they then need to look at closing it and making sure it's okay. Because it's cylindrical in shape, it may be a relatively simple process, but without intervention we don't know. Okay, let's check a few other things with her. Okay, one other thing we do notice is around her shoulders. She's a bit thinner around here because I can feel her ribs, but she's actually a really good size. And when that happens, that often presents in line again with a tumour, sadly, because it's almost like their body is just lowering weight and they're not gaining and keeping their own body weight. So when we look at her overall shape, she's very, you can actually feel her ribs through there. But she doesn't have any lymphatic issues, which we commonly see. So we really need to ensure that a vet checks this out and can go from there. So I'd recommend the vet that we used the other day. We have lots of them we used. But we had Cordy have some surgery and he had a mammary tumour, and it was done so well and at such a great price, and it's very local to you, that we'll give you those details. And yeah, that's hopefully going to be a very quick solution. In terms of her overall health, she looks great.
I thought she had some like walks sometimes, or like this black stuff, but I think it might be just there. But
yeah, it's actually dry skin, and it's coming from her, like parts of her body where the skin is darker in colour.
Okay.
So when they have, for example, you'll see her feet, where we've got some white skin, then we've got dark. Where it's white, we don't notice the skin as much. Where it's darker, we do. And if some of that dark flakes off into this area, it looks like spotting, and you can think it's like a mite issue or something, but it's not. Yeah, so with her ears...
Is she in pain because of the tumour?
No, and that's actually another indication that it might be a tumour rather than an abscess, because abscesses are fast growing and they tend to be like a pimple, which is really sore, and animals try to scratch it and they get irritated because it's growing so fast, whereas these tend to be more slow growing. They don't notice them, they actually don't get bothered by them at all. Yeah, sebaceous cysts typically are not down on the underside of the abdomen, which is where this is extending from. So I don't think we're looking at a sebaceous cyst. I think it's probably a tumour. But in saying that, they can be benign tumours. So yeah, you can have it removed, and then the cordis was completely benign, which is great. But having them removed is really a good step. You can see now the colour of what comes out from her ears is darker, and that's because the skin in her ear is darker.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the skin, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's more of this, and that's what I was talking about. When it flakes off here, you're seeing it in the white, so it looks like something, but it's not. So they're really good and healthy, or she's certainly healthy that way. Okay, over here is a bit different. She's got a little bit of fungal starting to happen, and you can actually feel it if we go round to the ear. See if I can scratch it. It's here on the underside of the ear. See this white scaliness?
Yeah.
This is fungal, and it often starts around the ear area. So she does have, that's probably what you're seeing get brushed back into this fur. So again, you can treat that with an antifungal, which we have here. Sorry?
The Malaseb?
Yeah, that's Malaseb in water. That's what we have in here.
Okay.
So just a thumbnail full of Malaseb in the water. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
In the water. Oh, saying no, I don't like that.
How often do you recommend their Malaseb baths?
Guinea pigs don't actually need baths unless you're treating something. Yeah, so it's not a necessity.
She's the cleanest of them.
Yeah, okay. Well, she looks great. It's just this ear here that has got a little bit more on it. And yeah, have you Malaseb bathed them before?
Just once.
Okay.
Maybe a month ago.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I put the ivermectin as well in their behind their ears.
Great, yep.
Because I thought they had
Mites, yeah. Well, you might have had the start of it because she's certainly got, you know, a little bit of stuff down there in that corner. This is, you know, not in the same place. It's in the same place. It's actually okay. So I'll just wipe over because sometimes the symmetry of their body, you find what happens on this side happens on that side. But yeah, not there. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that. She looks really good apart from the little tumour. So yeah, poor little lady, we need to get this seen to.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll give you the details. Yeah, yeah, and they'll be able to do something which is good. Awesome. Thanks everyone. I'll update you. This is Cajii, and Cajii is here for a check as well. He's a big, gorgeous Abyssinian, and what's really interesting about Cajii right away is that apart from him loving his food, he's actually got underneath his chin like a fatty tissue. We call that the dewlap area, and it's like rabbits, but we don't often see it on guinea pigs. But yeah, he has naturally got that, and I think it's more of a genetic actually issue than dietary. Yeah. So when they get bigger and they're eating lots more, they develop that, and especially older and aged as well. But yeah, Cajii has one of those.
He's old.
Is he? How old is he?
When we got him, he was like 3 years old, so he might be 5.
Okay, yeah, so he has got some fungal, which is going on. You can actually feel it in and around his face. His coat, look, it's really soft and nice, but we had some bits of it pop out with skin attached. And you're noticing bits around here at the back that are fungally. It doesn't look fungally at all.
It was really bad there.
Was it really
I had
bad
to
there?
keep washing, and then
Okay.
I cut hair.
Did you wash it with any Malaseb, or what did you wash it with?
Malaseb, yeah.
Yeah, oh, you've dealt with it. Yeah, because that's all you do. Literally, once after the wash, you get treating. Yeah, he's done it really well. And these bits here, that I think where these white areas are, that's where it was sort of scaly and so on. So Malaseb has done it, which is good. Yeah, and Malaseb's terrific with that. So you've done the right thing, which is great. And give him another bath in a week or so. He's really splay-footed, isn't he? He's got a big tummy. Has he had any bloat at all?
How would you notice?
Well, if you feel his tummy, it's just really tight. It's not like him touching it, which is almost like bloat. Bloat is almost like a balloon feeling when it's really blown up and full. So if you feel on there, you'll see what I mean. It feels like an air balloon. Yeah. And so while he's happy and he's eating and moving, I'm just keeping an eye on him for that.
Put him in place.
Yeah. His little ears, we can do a bit there. So we're going to clean his ears up. And who's the other little piggy that you've brought along? Yeah, bring Lulu. We're just going to quickly wipe out some of this, so it's not as hard. Frosty.
I had him with him, and he backed down. He didn't fight back, but he became really depressed because he always hid in his thing. So
We had such a busy day today. So he was desexed and he had that problem then. It actually feels like a hernia, some sort of a hernia. So again, the vet would need to look at that. Just have a look at his boy bits down here to see what's working and what isn't. Let's just see. Yes. It is a heavy mass in there. It's a mass. It does feel like a mass in there. Yeah, when they get desexed, they can have scar tissue in that area because sometimes the testes retract a long way and it results in scar tissue, but we typically see that closer to this side here, and it's not. It's deeper. It's there. So it's actually quite deep.
Could it be both?
No, it's not pus. No. When was he desexed?
Since we
Oh, he's always been right. Okay. Has it always been there? Oh, so you had him desexed?
and then I noticed that ball and I told him
Yeah, because they retract, and there's two possibilities. One is that it wasn't actually fully removed, and they could have actually disconnected it and left it. So that's a possibility. Less likely, but it's a possibility. They get scar tissue in that area, but I'd expect the scar tissue to be close to where they do the incision, which is actually here. It's on either side at the base, and that lump is, if I can palpate it, is there. So it's quite a mass. It's a hard mass too. It's not an abscess.
could it be his testicle?
Yes, possibly. If it retracted at the time and they couldn't get it, it possibly could. Yeah, but they would have actually had to disconnect it, but I wouldn't have thought it would be that size. So again, this is really a vet that needs to check that out, because it could also be a tumour in that location, and it's been there for a while. So a bit of both. Yeah, again, completely different sort of lump and bumps to what his girlfriend has. But yeah, but you've done a great job with the fungal, which is excellent. And yeah, it sounds like we just need to get them off to the vet and get them checked, which is awesome. Yeah. So there's something going on there we need to find out more about. Let's swap you over. Who do we have? Lulu. Hi, Lulu. Lily's got a bit of fungal in the ears as well, which we'll take care of. She's looking really. She's laying down on there. Do they always sit like that? She's just chilling.
Oh yeah,
Can you see her from there? She's got the pancake look. She's just totally chilling. Turn it around, see if you can do it that way. Here we are, Lulu.
Oh man, I hope she doesn't have tumour.
Isn't she cute? She's so cute. Like a frog hole. That's right. So Lulu is number 3. Gorgeous.
She has had 2 puppies.
Has she?
Having more.
Yeah. She's got very straight legs back there, haven't you?
Oh my god, I hope she doesn't have tumour.
No, she doesn't.
Yay.
She doesn't, so yay.
Oh my god.
2 out of 3. Oh my goodness, yeah. That's so
I
good.
didn't expect of Gracie at all. Cajii, yes, because he's old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, did I bump your foot? She's a screamer, isn't she?
And also she had lots of black hair, like these things, and I also told her she was
Yeah, it's the same. It's from here. Yeah. No, it looks fine. It's nice and clear. I can see one of them. Yeah, it's just dry skin. It's just dry skin. She's really good. And the fur is really soft and beautiful. And when you ruffle it, like the hair is not coming out with any clumps of anything in it,
yeah, that's Cajii.
which is really good. Yeah. So it's just her ears. You're going to scream on her ears, probably. That's good.
So maybe this one won't need the vet.
Sorry?
Maybe she won't.
No, she doesn't need the vet. No,
Good Lulu.
she doesn't need the vet.
You know what she does like a skunk? She
Yeah.
pees. She sprays her like that. We've seen her doing that to other people.
So she's quite dominant.
So she's like a skunk.
That's a dominant girl. Yeah.
But the 3 of them are dominant in their own way.
Yeah. They'll have a hierarchy within the group, for sure.
I wonder.
Yeah, they do. And yeah, if she's doing that, she could well be the dominant.
Really?
Yeah.
And she's the youngest one.
Yep, it's very dominant. Often it's by the weight. As they get larger, they tend to be the more dominant because they're the biggest. But it's not always the case. I've had guinea pigs who've been really tiny and they've been the dominant ones. So it's not always the case. Awesome. All done. So that's it for these 3 girls. I think that's enough, isn't it? With 2 of them off to the vet, and they're so gorgeous. Yeah. She's so cute.
Lulu.